Hey guys, welcome to Cars and Health Bars. On today's episode, we're going to be getting you ready for your trip to Holley LS Fest 2024, and also we're going to be catching up with some of your Q&A questions on the gaming side. With that being said, let's jump right into it. Jordan, as a person who has been going to LS Fest for this year would make over a decade, I want to know from somebody that's been going for so long, what are some do's and don'ts whenever preparing and going to Holley LS Fest?
So the first do is check that weather, boy. Check that weather. You don't want to get sunburnt, Maybe you do. I don't know. But you definitely don't want to get caught in rain if you're in the car show.
Oh, God.
We personally know how that goes.
Yeah.
Fest. Did you have your car on the show that year, or was it just me?
I did, but we parked yours closer because we went and got lunch like we always do.
That's right, yeah.
That's like I would say that for me, that's one of the biggest do's. If you have a LS, I don't care if it's a dang pickup truck. If you're planning on going at least 2 of those days, buy that car show pass. Because for a 3-day pass, it's $75. For the car show pass, $95 or $90. You're paying an extra $20 for premium parking, skipping the lines. I mean, I don't know that we've ever had trouble getting in or out. Like, even whenever we've left for lunch, like, it's almost a tradition for us to go to Steak and Shake during LS Fest on Saturday. We go there, we come right back, don't have no problem at all, and sometimes even get a better parking spot than we had to begin with because, people leave throughout the day.
Man, you said it's $90 for that car show now? They have upped that price. I thought it was like $60 before.
Oh, no, I mean, even for a spectator 3-day pass, it's like $70.
Really? What's it for one day, do you know?
I don't know. And for the early bird, that's for the early bird. So if you wait and buy tickets like after like 1st of September, then those rates jack up. I think car show's like 100 or 110.
Dang.
I mean, I'm pulling up ticket prices right now, but yeah, it's. I mean, I just don't remember what they were last time. Do you remember what they used to be?
Like I said, I thought it was $65 for car show a couple years ago. I'm not going in this year, but I was in last year, I believe, and yeah, pretty much every year I had my car except this year I've been in.
Yeah, the spectator ticket for 1 day is $25. For the 3-day, it's $75.
I mean, 25.
And that
I can expect that, but
yeah, the car show is $120. Holy crap! You save so much money by buying it early. I think I paid $90 for mine, so you can save all kinds of money if you buy it before the September 1st or whatever it was. It's too late now. Obviously, LS Fest starts this morning, so
yeah, that's crazy to me. I guess let's get into more do's and don'ts. I would say
definitely.
Don't. I don't know if this is something that even needs to be said because I think they've pretty much locked down on this. Is don't expect to bring a side-by-side in there if you're not part of a team at this point.
Absolutely.
I mean, I remember the last year, I think it was last year, it was ridiculous, man. It's like I couldn't go nowhere in my car.
Dude, yeah, I think they did crack down on that because it was horrible, man. And even like, because you run into the issue of, as you're walking around, you're like, what's this dude doing? Like, does he think he owns this place? And then if you're driving the side by side, you're just like, get out of my way, buddy. Like,
yeah,
what are you doing?
It just takes up too much room because there's supposed to be cars on the road, and then they gotta get off on the side by people, and I don't know. It's just like the main strip there is too wide. I mean, it's no wider than that unless you're back there and where they set up at the vendors.
Yeah.
So,
and there's just too many people.
Yeah. And that's kind of another thing I want to get on is kind of why I don't like to go as much anymore is because it's just so crowded. But it's still a great event. It's just I've been a lot and I know what I'm gonna see, so I'm not to a newcomer into the scene of LS performance and shows like this. I mean, it's a great event, but it's almost overkill for me at this point. I feel like I'd rather go to PRI.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But, LS Fest always got a place in my heart. It's one of the few events that really got me into the automotive industry, I would say. I mean, what kind of led me into being a mechanic and everything.
Yeah, I would definitely say another do is as far as the overcrowding issue. If you are able to, definitely go Friday if you're able, because there's a lot less crowding. It has gotten worse throughout the years, but I mean it's more and more people are going, so naturally. But Friday is definitely the day to go if you are wanting to avoid a large crowd, because everybody and their mother is going to be there Saturday. I mean, it's like insane. The line to the Holley booth is you probably spend an hour waiting at the Holley booth for an event shirt.
You probably
And that
would.
leads me into another do is if you use your brain, you need to order stuff online and then do the pickup at the Holley booth, because I'm telling you, every time I look at that online pickup line, there ain't one. There literally ain't one. Like, Jordan used to be really, really big. I mean, you get a shirt every single year. I know a lot of people that do that.
I don't know if I did last year. I may not have. I've kind of stopped doing that. I still have my original 2013 shirt.
Is one of the event shirt your I Still Play with Blocks shirt?
No, that was.
Oh, I thought that was an event shirt.
No. That brings back memories. I forgot all about that. Man, I was gonna think of another do. I would bring my own food and water if I could. Because I don't know what it is, but a sweet tea, lemonade, Coke.
Like $9 for a sweet tea?
$9? I mean, that's just
I could buy like 2 gallons of Milos for that.
If you're there all day, buy a couple 2 liters, buy a gallon or 2 of sweet tea and a cooler. I mean, ice is cheaper than that.
Yeah, dude. Now, and I don't know if they serve alcohol there, but there ain't no telling what that costs. Like, golly.
Yeah, I think they do now, because I went to some event with David and Tyler and a couple other coworkers, and me and David bought a beer, and it was kind of up there. So yeah, I would definitely bring my own food and drink. I would always check the weather. This time it's not gonna be too hot, so you shouldn't have to buy a lot of ice or nothing.
Yeah. I would say don't, and this is a major thing. You kind of get distracted by everything going on. If you're wanting to just sit and watch drag racing, if it was me, and it might be a no-brainer to some people, but I know one day for sure I was not using my brain, but there is a half of the bleachers on the it used to be the Budweiser side, but on the opposite side that you came in from, that is uncovered by the canopy, and you will roast so fast. You have no idea how fast you'll get a sunburn sitting on them bleachers. Like, it will fry you, buddy.
It will. You know what's funny is, I remember last year in the car show, there were a few non-LS powered cars that somehow made their way in.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if it's like a Honda Civic. It's some like 4-door V6 4-cylinder car made its way next to me at the show. I was like, how's this dude get here?
Yeah. So, y'all not like tech? I mean, do you not see whenever you tech people in?
I wish I could speak more to people who are participating in the event. I mean, obviously, if you're in the event, I would say do bring spare fluids. It's pretty basic for an event. Bring all your spare fluids, maybe spare wheel and tire.
Yeah, luckily there are vendors set up there that would probably sell that to you, but it's probably at a premium.
If you can buy your own nitrous, definitely do that. The refills, from what I understand, are pretty expensive. I don't know exactly how expensive, but I think nitrous outlet's like usually the only vendor doing that. So you could go to like someone like KP Custom or someone I know they're selling nitrous and Bowling Green. So that is an option too.
I will say, as a parent, I just did this afternoon, but if you plan on taking your small child, definitely go get those hearing protection. Those cars are insanely loud, and that's the last thing you want, because here we are at, mid-20s, and I can't hear that good. I'm just speaking for myself, but I've been in a factory for over a decade and been around loud cars, loud guns, loud everything, so I can't imagine not having hearing sooner than this. So definitely, if you got a small kid, go get them some hearing protection. Walmart's got some nice earmuffs for like $10.
And I think men actually start to lose their hearing a lot sooner than women. I think it's like when you're like 27. It's pretty drastic actually how much your hearing will drop within 10, 15 years. You lose a lot of the, I think it's the low range frequency. Yeah, I was at a Ford class and they was actually talking about that. So if you're someone who's got sensitive hearing or something, yeah, do bring hearing protection. Bring sunglasses. It's gonna be sunny. I mean,
Yeah. I think we were supposed to get some pretty nice weather for LS Fest, but I know it did heat up quite a bit, especially today. It got up like 88. Well, today being Thursday, we record a day early. Yeah, the high for Friday today is going to be 88. Saturday it's supposed to cool off way more. It's supposed to be a high of 74. I can't imagine it getting that cool, but hopefully it stays true. I can't imagine it changing this late.
yeah, I mean, we'll see, because, I even thought it was supposed to rain this weekend, so that's why I always say just check the weather, man. This Kentucky weather is just random half the time.
Yeah,
You
and
never know what to trust.
I will say definitely a big do is if you're like us, young, you're free, doing whatever. I would say one of the more fun things to do during this time is to go check out some after meets.
I was just about to mention that I love the after meets. I will say Friday it's gonna be rainy. By the time we get off work, so at least I get off. It says 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. There's gonna be 40% chance of rain.
Oh, that's not good. Not ideal.
Probably gonna be a little rain in Bowling Green, so after meets probably. I don't know. They might be good after that.
I will say, well, there's already some after meets going on tonight. I mean, it's crazy, but I will say I did get information from a LS Fest after meet group that there is a Kentucky State Police S650 and C7 Corvette driving around on I-65. So if you plan on roll racing, I would not do it there, because I'm sure that they will pursue any high-speed chase, especially in a S650 or a C7. Not saying that they're going to outrun you, but I'm just saying they're not going to be as apt to give up as a normal police officer and like a Charger would.
Yeah, I mean, those Chargers top at like 140, I think.
Yeah, that's C7, ain't I?
C7,
and it.
I mean, you might be faster than him, but he ain't gonna be too far behind you. So.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're gonna be itching at the back of the neck to just run somebody down, dude. You imagine that? They're gonna
sure.
be like Need for Speed Heat, man. They ain't giving up.
You got the EMP on you, dog.
Yeah, I did find out, though. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it goes for the same as those, but those Chargers and any other, like, Interceptor car, they do have some sort of a, they say a chip, but they do have, like, a tune in them that makes them a little bit faster. I don't know, what the deal is, if they messed with the fuel map, but they're supposedly supposed to be faster, and I don't know. They might just...
I think it's a little more aggressive on the Fords, I know, but it's nothing too crazy.
I think that's what I heard, too. Maybe the Crown Vics, or maybe it was something different.
Crown Vics. It's the Explorers, I know.
Oh, yeah, the Explorers. That's what it was, the Interceptors.
Yeah, I've worked on a few. I can look it up, actually, sometime. I might be interested in doing that, so I'll have to see. Yeah. I would say don't roll race on 65 between Bowling Green and Franklin if there's cops spotted there, because everyone and their mom races there. So if you hear someone getting pulled over there, maybe that's not the spot. I would find somewhere else.
I know Natcher is not a good spot either. They regularly patrol Natcher. It's a bad one.
If anything, I would go northbound 65. That's the only way I really think doesn't get too much attention.
Yeah, almost like towards Smiths Grove.
Yeah, like you're heading to Smiths Grove, and there's plenty of exits.
Smiths Grove might be getting bad too. Yeah, Smiths Grove might be getting bad too. I don't know with Buc-ee's.
A lot of attention with the E85 pump over there, anyway.
Yeah, but yeah, the after meets are definitely a lot of fun. I always have almost as much, if not more, fun at the after meets, just because it's like anything goes.
Yeah, I mean the burnouts are unreal there, so it's always fun. It's always fun.
I do know
all the hood rat stuff going on, really.
There's supposed to be an after meet at Flippin' Axe, unless it changed on Saturday or Friday night, and supposedly they're going to be allowing burnouts and stuff. I don't know if it's on the property or if they got the go ahead. Okay, I didn't know if maybe the bowling
places have done that. I wouldn't go to anywhere that's charging for after meet. I feel like that's scummy behavior. I've seen people do that, and I'm just not a fan of that. That's scummy.
I kind of got some crap for that because I was in a group chat and I was like, is there anywhere that's going to be not charging for an after meet? And they're like, oh, what are you, poor? I'm like, no, I just think it's stupid that I should have to pay somewhere to go park my car and spectate. Like,
For real, I've been paid at the event. Why would I want to go pay again after? Especially on the event. I feel like they're kind of charging a little much, so.
Yeah, it's getting up there. Especially like you're getting more people. Seems like you would be able to control the price if you're getting that much people. It's supply and demand. I mean, you're getting more people. Why not knock that price down?
Cutting in the profit margin. They ain't gonna do that. They're only gonna raise
No.
it.
I will say that's one thing I feel like Bowling Green Police could like benefit from if they did like allow a small section, like kind of. I think Rod Run does it where there's a spot on like the interstate where they just it doesn't. You can do all the burnouts you want to. I feel like Bowling Green Police Department would benefit from that.
It's just part of the main strip there and Pigeon
Oh wow.
Forge.
I feel like they'd benefit a lot if they would allow like a small section of pavement. Just say, hey guys, just turn it loose, just let it eat. Just let it all out. I feel like there'd be a lot less, hood rat stuff going on if they allowed that to happen.
Yeah,
that's just me though.
I don't think Bowling Green's gonna do that. I just can't foresee it.
I think Bowling Green Police Department's always had a problem with LS Fest. It's like they just dread it coming.
I mean, I got a problem with them anyways. I think they just dread people and muscle cars and sports cars. Yeah.
It took, ain't no telling how long it took a spectator to get in. I know spectators have it rough, man.
I mean, I feel bad for anyone spectating, dog. I'm not parking my car there. We will park it somewhere else.
Gotta walk like a mile to get to the event. It's crazy.
It's just not worth it, man.
No, it's not. It's really not.
They
I
have
can't.
Shuttles now, but I don't know how I feel about that. I wish they would pay. I think they are gonna extend it to double lane in the wintertime this year when the track's not being used. So that's nice. But I guess we'll see because I'm curious how much they're gonna change.
So I want to talk a little bit about the vendors because a lot of people they just get kind of fixated on going and watching cars, watching the racing and stuff. I want to know kind of what your ploy would be to be like, hey, go look at these vendors because that's almost like that's right up there with one of my favorite things to do is go around and see the vendors.
I mean, who I'm gonna say first. Brian Toohey.
What?
Go check out Brian Toohey. I mean, he's always got
definitely.
They're always
Anywhere that has
something, man.
And this is, I'm definitely biased being a machinist, but my favorite thing to do is to go look at like where they've got the heads set up, check out all the like port work that they do on, especially like the new Frankenstein heads, all the machine work, how everything flows, and yeah, anywhere that's got like a block that's been machined, it's just a lot. It's nice to see like all the what their best of the best is because I mean they're bringing out what their best products is to show off, and it's really nice to see all the craftsmanship that goes into these custom aftermarket parts like a block or a head.
Aren't they doing swap meets now at LS Fest? I never went. I think they are though.
I don't know. I didn't know.
But,
Maybe.
Yeah, I'll definitely go check out vendors, and if you have any questions, you can talk to professionals about maybe your setup or get some free advice that would otherwise be hard to get from certain people. So I think it's kind of funny because I remember one time I went and this boomer went up to Matt and asked, how do I turn my 350 into an LS?
Oh my God,
so
there ain't no way.
You kind of got that crowd, but at the same time, if you are educated and you're learning and trying to understand what's best for your build, then I'm sure someone like Brian or part of his team would be glad to help you out and talk to you about what product would be best for you.
We'll say too, if you're if you are like currently building something, I'm not saying like you got to do this, but like if you're building something and you like know you need a part or whatever, we'll say like you need a set of Frankenstein heads. I mean, bring you some money there. I mean, you can save yourself some shipping if they have it in stock there in their booth. That'd be pretty nice to just go ahead and pick up there.
Yeah, I've never bought nothing from the event, so I don't even know how they go about that. If they carry a bunch of stock or what.
I don't know either. And they might not.
Some teams just bring a car and some products to showcase. I don't know if they actually sell. But if they are doing the swap meet, then I would expect to see some good parts there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that'd be cool if they just like said anybody in the car show bring whatever you got. You just start bringing parts out and laying them out in front of the car. Like, hey, I got a set of heads right here, buddy.
Yeah, but you're the same people that say, "Oh, it's LS just had a head gasket issue." And turns out it had a lot more than that, and you're gonna spend a lot more money than you intended if you buy it. So watch out for scammers too. I'm sure there's gonna be a few if you're buying at swap meets.
Absolutely.
Seems like there always is.
I will say too, if you're traveling and you're not from Bowling Green area, I haven't been personally, but it's always been a dream of mine to go. The Corvette Museum would probably be a great place to check out, as well as, Holley's also here. I'm not sure if they give tours or whatever, but it'd be nice to go check out Holley if you're not from here.
Are they doing NCM? Do you know? I think they did last year, didn't they? They had NCM set up.
I'm not sure, but I know they are doing the whole tuning school thing again there at Holley, I'm pretty sure.
Gotcha.
But yeah, if you're not from the area, there's a lot of cool things to check out here in Bowling Green. Like I said, Vet City, of course. And I don't know me personally, but if you don't have a Raising Cane's in your area, it's like my favorite fast food place. I mean, I've even been telling the Japanese guy at work, I'm like, dog, you gotta try some cane sauce. He's like, cane sauce? I'm like, yes, brother. That's it.
Try it out. I really don't got much more to say about it. I don't know if you got anything more. I really feel like there's not much more I can say. I mean, a lot of people know what they're getting into, but to those who don't, I mean, number one thing is check the weather. And then after that, bring your own drinks, man.
Also, this is one thing that they changed here recently with COVID. I'm not sure if it's something they're sticking to, but they did switch to only online ticket purchasing. So you might want to look into that before you head down here, because I'm not sure, but I know last year before that, they did not sell tickets at the booth. So you have to get your tickets before you come in. I would do that anyways, just to keep from the hassle. Because even if they do sell them, they probably will expedite you through if you already have a ticket online. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got. In case you don't know, the event shirt this year is, of course, the C8 Z06 motor. It's the twin turbo LT. What is it? An LT9, a ZR1. Yeah, sorry, but it's got the twin turbo C8 engine from. LT6. Is it an LT6?
The naturally aspirated one in the Z06 is the LT5. I believe they're designating it LT6 from what I remember. Could be wrong. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, that's the event shirt for this year. I guess with that being said, we can go ahead and switch into our gaming topic. That wraps up that. So, let's see what we got here. I'm wanting to jump into this Q&A for this week's episode. I really like this question. I wanted to ask it last week. What is your favorite gaming era? Is it the GameCube? Is it the Xbox era? That's kind of a tough question, because that kind of breaks down really a war between consoles, because each era had consoles at that time, the regular Xbox, the 360, the One, and then so forth. So what kind of are you leaning more towards? What's your favorite era?
I think it leans just depend on partly the time of your life you were playing too. But
okay,
I mean, my favorite, it's always going to be the OG Call of Duty days. Anywhere from MW2 to Black Ops 2 is really my favorite. I'd say a mix of Black Ops 1, MW2, MW3, Black Ops 2. World at War was really good. Even before that, I mean, Call of Duty 3 was so much fun to me as a kid. And then, it's hard for me to say. I really enjoyed when I first got on the 360. But I got a lot of PS2 games that really were my favorite too.
Yeah.
So, that's a hard one. I'm going to have to go with 360, man. Just the OG, back when gaming was really kicking off on the online scene.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. It's just like, yeah, that was so nostalgic. And then, like, the Black Ops 2 Search and Destroy days, like, oh my God, it's just so crazy to think how times have changed. It's just playing video games till, like, me and Logan would play till, like, 5 a.m., dude. I mean, we would hit it hard.
That's crazy. Like, I mean, I almost wake up at that time now.
Yeah. Just being kids, man. I have no responsibilities. It was a whole different time back then. So, another question. What is the most challenging game you've ever played, and how long did it take you to beat that challenge? Would you recommend it?
I mean, I think you know what I'm going to have to say, and answer that. And to answer mine is no, I'm not going to beat it, I don't think.
I'm going to say my most challenging game might be a little shocking, but Mortal Kombat, dude. Like, I used to be big into fighter games as a kid, and, I mean, that game would genuinely get extreme. Oh, okay, I'll say that. Mortal Kombat would genuinely get really difficult, but one other game Need for Speed, like the one that came out in like 2013-ish, that's just called Need for Speed. I don't know if I had the difficulty on, but like some of those drift challenges and some of those sprint races, you had there. I mean, I was literally telling myself in the head, you cannot have one error or you will not beat this race. Or there's a few where you could have one, and I'm like, okay, the whole race, I'm like, I can have one error, and then I'd mess up, and they're like, okay, no more errors. We cannot, or we're going to lose this. Like that game was insanely hard for me, and it was almost like you had to find the best route. You had to find the best line to follow, or you were going to fail that race every time. And I mean, the game would just like, you'd lose by milliseconds, and it would just make you so mad. And it's just like, I gotta win this. But that was my most challenging thing. Racing games for sure, and definitely fighter games towards like the end, of course.
It's kind of hard. I mean, obviously the number one most challenging game I've played, Rocket League. I'm looking at my time played right now. 4,855 hours.
God.
And I'm never gonna hit top rank. I feel like. I mean, I definitely could, but at this point I'm not putting in the time and practice that would get me there. So it's definitely doable. I think anyone who really wants it can get it. Other than that, I mean, I don't know. I want to say shooter games have gotten a lot harder just because there's a lot more competition, especially especially games with movement like Apex.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from cheaters in games like that, I mean, it is very hard to consistently do well for the average player, I would say. At least for me. I mean, I don't know should I consider myself the average player on that? I don't play that game a lot, but I would say I'm better than most average players in just game sense, because I'm just kind of, you know, maybe I need to get humbled. Maybe I'm not, but I feel like I have a good game sense compared to a lot of other gamers. And maybe I don't. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know.
Other than that, I think Call of Duty back in the day would be hard on that search and destroy grind for me, man. It wasn't about winning. It was about not dying. Like,
yeah.
I remember some games I'd have almost 40 kills. And it'd be like, because, you know, the games that took, what was it, 4 wins and it's over on the OG S&D? Or was it 5?
I thought it was 3. I don't know.
I don't even know, but I know it was 3, but I know you could go up to like 5 or 6 rounds. So
yeah.
I mean, if I was carrying, and I always wanted to carry, that was the thing, is I enjoyed carrying, but it was hard. But those games I would get like 37, 36 kills in S&D and like 3 deaths. That was the games for me, man.
Yeah, especially like a league play where you could be like super competitive. I mean, everybody was on their game.
I mean, I was just on it, dude.
I thought even in league play they banned particular weapons that were like kind of OP. I don't think you could use the FAL, could you? I know particular guns were taken out.
You know,
Flak Jacket I think was taken out too.
Honestly, I think the FAL was.
Oh, definitely.
Flak Jacket was kind of. I don't think it was OP. I just think explosives.
It was situational.
I think explosives are OP in Black Ops 2. C4 was just stupid OP.
It's somebody like me that ran combat axe all the time. If you had Flak Jacket, it was irrelevant if you were playing against me. I mean, you'd never get use out of it.
Oh,
Same thing with Tac
Mask. The nade.
Nade was good.
I knew the nades.
You were Chef Boyardee with that nade cooking.
I think that was one of the most challenging games. Just learning all. I knew how to spawn trap on Nuketown. I figured that out. I figured out a lot of spawn nades, like double, triple kill nades. Certain wall bangs I was really good with. You know, spawn sniping. There's a lot of things that you can learn in that game.
Same thing with cross-map tomahawks. I mean,
yeah, I knew some of those too. Nuketown, I kind of had figured out on that one, if you spawned on, I think it's Yellow House on the right side, it was pretty easy to get that tomahawk off.
Yeah. So this question is kind of, I guess, piggybacking off of what you were just discussing, but how do you deal with toxic communities in online gaming? And it's like, you know, I don't know. I feel like you're best, because you get really angry at Rocket League, but I feel like the best thing you do is walk away, but it usually still drives you nuts, because while you're trying to calm down, you're still thinking about it. So I don't really know if you'd be very good at discussing.
I'm very good at getting over it pretty quick, I would say, compared to most people. Because I know some people who get mad and rest of the day they're playing, they're mad. I can get mad at Rocket League, take 15 minutes to just go outside, watch some YouTube or play with my dog. I mean, just something to take my mind off of it. And then I'll kind of get distracted for a minute and I'll be like, oh yeah, I want to go play some Rocket League. I'm in a good mind state now. So, and you know, the problem is I think games are just more toxic now because there's so much. I think skill-based matchmaking is kind of the root cause of this, because it's supposed to help the new players, but it kind of makes it more competitive at the same time. And a lot of people just aren't looking for competitiveness.
Yeah, like casual needs to be casual. There needs to be no skill-based matchmaking casual.
Casual in Rocket League, forget it. I mean, and it used to not be like that. I remember I was a noob at Rocket League, and I would play against someone who was, I mean, half my rank what I am now, but I was a noob, so, you know, they were like a god to me. And I was just like, holy crap, this dude's amazing. I would enjoy watching him score.
Yeah.
And I can't say I do that a lot now. I mean, if there's a good player, I definitely enjoy watching them. But a lot of times people are just toxic. So the best way to deal with it is I've even ended up muting people.
Yeah, don't lean into it.
I mean,
because the more you go along with it, the more it feeds like the situation. Really,
it feeds their. You can't give them any attention because it feeds their ego a little bit like that. Not another.
Because then they know they're getting to you.
Yeah, and they'll keep on, and that can be really hard to do for me. But
yeah, and you're not gonna play any better.
And if it's a team game,
oh no,
like Rocket League, for example, if it's a team game and your teammates are like that and they're clearly not trying anymore, it's, man, just forfeit. And if they don't want to, play it out. But, you know, just take the L. It sucks. Take the L and take a break. Don't queue instantly. That's my problem. Is I'll queue instantly and I'll get that same guy again. I've done it 3 times in a row, man. That's what really gets me toxic. Is when I get the same dude 3 times in a row, and he's sitting here calling me bad. It's like, dude, if we're losing 3 times in a row and it's a team game, maybe it's both of us at the very least. Yeah, I could say that. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I can almost get mad thinking about some of the times that happens. That's how toxic it gets. I mean, you got any advice? I mean, I don't know if you deal with much toxicity on your games that you play.
I don't know. I'm really bad about leaning into it too. Like, you know, I've been begging you to get Dead by Daylight, and it gets pretty rough on there. Like, you know, for example, it was me and one other guy left, and I mean, this killer was just dog stomping us. Like, he killed the other 2 people real easily. He done got me once, and my friends were spectating me, and you know, they can spectate me and my teammate. And I was, because the way Dead by Daylight works is if everybody's dead except for you, then you don't have to get all the generators going. You can just find a hatch to leave. So I was like, all right, this one dude's left. He's already about to die. I'm just going to camp him out, and hopefully he dies. He finds the killer, like, teabags a whole bunch of times, and then him and the killer just, like, team up, and, like, he's helping the killer find me. Oh, and then after they kill me, the killer helps that guy find the hatch so he can leave and win the match. I'm like, buddy, oh my God, it got so hard not to just, like, lose my mind.
Does it change your XP or anything?
No, it just screws me over. It just makes, you know, it just stupid. Like, it's so rare that happens.
Loses, so
yeah, so like it just
makes sense.
I know.
You know what that reminds me of? Boosting in Black Ops 2.
Yeah, pretty much.
You better not catch me finding you do that. If I saw my teammate had an excessive amount of kills or an excessive amount of deaths, and I was like, this dude's never left this side of the map.
Yeah.
He's probably got attacking cert. And his buddy's there. And if I keep seeing the same guys, nah. He ain't. It's over. My main goal is to make sure that doesn't continue. I will lose the game for that.
I forgot that was a big problem back in the day.
It was, and it wasn't a problem if I was on your team. Don't worry about it. I made those people so mad. They'd message me.
Oh, that's the best. I forgot about that completely. I guess to transition off of that, there is Another question that I really wanted to talk about. So this guy recently switched over to PC. Been playing console my whole life, and I just recently switched to PC because of the increasing price in consoles. I'm tired of buying consoles. I completely understand that. His question is, though, he's having a hard time getting used to keyboard and mouse. Are there games that we play using controller? How did you transition to fully keyboard and mouse? If you did, thanks. Love the show.
Man, I remember when I first switched over, and
oh, it's the weirdest thing ever.
I had used the keyboard mouse just to type only in my life. I never used it to game, except for Happy Wheels. And it was difficult because I remember playing CS:GO and I just sucked, man. But you know what? I bet within probably not even half a year, like four months probably, I was better than most of my friends on mouse and keyboard. It's really just it's awkward at first, but you get used to it.
I would say one thing is like if you're especially if you're playing shooter games, play on aim lab, get your sensitivity right. I feel like sensitivity is a big thing.
A lot of people do not. They just stick with a default sensitivity. Figure out what works best for you, man, because you can watch a YouTube video about a pro and he's like, yeah, I'll run this, this, and this. Well, that may not work best for you, and a lot of people don't realize that. There are certain trends to follow, but at the same time, you got to optimize it for yourself, and the only way you're going to do that is practice.
And if you are playing shooter games, the odds are against you. Like, we do not get that same aim assist controller people get, and it is very unfortunate.
Yeah, like if you play Apex Legends, for example, it seems like controller players just dominate when it comes to pistols and shotguns. Maybe not shotguns as much, but like pistols, SMGs, close range tracking, you're going to have a hard time beating someone with aim assist. But PC, it's kind of easier at range. So, kind of play to your strong suit at first if you got to, and work on your weakness.
I will say, from somebody that plays like primarily survival games, oh my god, it is so nice being on keyboard and mouse because you got so many more keys for inventory buttons. Like, even just scrolling through your inventory, I just flick my scroll wheel. I can be all the way across my hotbar. I remember back in the day having to hit that bumper like 1,000 times to get over to the end of the hotbar.
And also one thing, I see a lot of people mess this up, even on controller, but crosshair placement. Don't look at the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Look at head level, shoulder level.
I'm bad about that, too. I mean, you watch me all the time. You're like, why are you looking at the waist? I'm like, I just can't help it, dog.
I remember I watched a video talking about it, and I was like, it was like a mind-blowing moment. I was like, no wonder I never, kill people faster than they kill me.
Yeah.
If I'm hitting for a place that does less damage, they're always going to outdo me. It's less shots to kill for them, so... It's just like, I was like, holy crap, I never thought about that. And especially on games like Counter-Strike, Valorant, you got to have good crosshair placement if you want to be viable. So.
I will say, too, find a good keyboard and mouse you like. I'm still, fortunately, on my first setup, but I'm very overdue for a mouse and keyboard. And you got to think that's kind of like, you say get a nice bed for yourself because you spend so much of your life doing that. If you're a gamer, you're spending a lot of time touching that keyboard and mouse. You need to find something that's comfortable for you, or you're just not going to play well.
Kind of plug in a few brands. Don't go buy the cheapo Amazon, Walmart.
Easy, that's what I'm rocking.
I mean, you can, but it will. A good mouse really can help your aim. Like a good ergonomical mouse. Don't go buy a popular one. Buy one that kind of you think would fit your hand good and that you're comfortable with, and stick with something that size from that point on. I like Logitech mice a lot, so that's what I'm running. SteelSeries keyboard. Keyboard's not as important, but the mouse is really where you want to spend your money. Keyboard, you can kind of cheap out a little more.
Yeah, I will say, if you're close to a micro center, they have a lot of things set up to where you can actually, feel it, see how you like it before, especially the earmuffs. That guy that was showing us those earmuffs, he about sold me on that set he was showing me. They were super comfy, dude. Like, that's the big thing for me. I'm going to need a headset here soon, but Razer, I've always used Razer headsets. I really like them.
Yeah, I do too.
They're really comfy.
I buy earmuffs for mine when mine start to go bad. Clean, and that's another thing. Clean your mouse, clean your keyboard every so often. Clean your headsets. You don't want to be. It's just clean up after yourself, man. You don't want to be
like a dean.
I guess I don't even know if it's just a dean. It's You don't want to have a bunch of sweat and stuff on it. It'll affect performance a little bit too. Clean your mouse pad.
Yeah, such a weird thing. You said to me, it's probably about a few months ago, but you're like, yeah, I'm gonna wash my hands real quick before we play. My hands are kind of oily. I'm like, oh dang. I was like, that's a good point. Like if you're trying to like really be on point, get yourself ready.
It just messes the feel off, man. If I don't feel right, I'm not comfortable. I'm not gonna play as good. So.
Yeah, it sounds really weird, but that's the way I am. Like, I've gotten so used to wearing my wedding band. It's like if I don't wear, it used to be the opposite way. Before I wore a wedding band, if I didn't have it on, if I did have it on whenever I wasn't used to it felt so weird. But now it's like if I leave it on the sink to wash my hands, it's just like I cannot play the same. It doesn't feel weird because there's just like it ain't there.
Yeah, I mean, and being a mechanic, I gotta wash my hands, man. I can't.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Being greasy all day at work. I want to be clean.
Yeah, I guess we can hit one more here. Let me find a good one. We might have already answered this one last time, but if you could pick one game to play for the rest of your life, what would it be?
I do not remember this one. That is a good one. Should we set it as like the game is in its peak forever?
Sure.
Because
we'll set any premise.
I feel like it's got to be. Otherwise, when the game dies, you're screwed. So.
Right.
If we're picking peak, this is a hard one because you got something like Halo Reach peak, which is just like God, man. And you got like when PUBG came out and it was peak. That game was so much fun. Peak Destiny 1 was like, dude. Peak Battlefield 4. Peak Black Ops 2, MW 2, MW 3, Black Ops 1. Holy crap, that's a hard one to eat. What do you got? You got an answer? Cause
I don't know. I think back to a game that I revisit all the time, and I'll revisit it and play it like nonstop, and then I'll put it down for a little while. But Ark is that way. Like that game never gets old to me. It's just like
I do enjoy Ark. I wish I played
that or
more in the
Minecraft.
peak.
It's just
with your friends is peak. So Minecraft.
There ain't nothing better. That's one thing I look forward to most during Christmas time is for some reason we always start up a new world around Christmas time, and it's just like you always look forward to it. It's just the Christmas time Minecraft playthrough, and it's just so much fun. Yeah, anything with friends is always going to be better, but yeah, Ark is just something that's just never ending for me. I can just grind it for like a few weeks, and then I'll set it down for a while, and then, a couple months later, whenever I get 400 gigabytes freed up on my hard drive or my SSD, then it's time to put Ark back on there for a little while.
Fair enough. I think, no surprise, I gotta go with Black Ops 2, man. That's
a tough one.
I can literally live in that game. I could literally never leave my chair. When I was, dude, I had a recliner I would play in for half of the time I played that game.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I had the worst setup, and I somehow pulled shit off. But I remember I'd fall asleep in that chair and wake up to the Black Ops 2 loading screen music. Like,
bong, 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 bong.
That's always going to be a memory for me, man. I can't pass that up. That is probably the best time of my life. It was so much fun. It wasn't even just the game, it was the community, because I loved it when people would trash talk me, man, and I'd just prove them wrong.
Yeah, 1v1 me, let's run it.
I was like, alright, bet. And if I lost, I learned something.
Yeah, definitely, man. I there was one more really, really good one I wanted to hit before we jumped off here.
Dead Island, that was a fun game too.
Dead Island?
Yeah, that was so fun.
I remember my question. Let me pull it back up here. So I'm having a hard time looking forward to any games that are coming out this year. Are there any that are standing out to you? I feel like I'm losing interest in new game development. I was there last year. There's nothing.
Me too, buddy.
Because, man, we looked forward to Party Animals for so long, and it just ended up kind of not being it. But I'll say one game that I'm looking forward to that was recently teased is I'm kind of curious to see how Wreckfest 2 is going to be.
I did see. I'm very interested in that, and I mean, I think everyone and their mom's interested about GTA 6.
Yeah, that is if it actually comes out.
Yeah, I'm about to say I kind of got a gut feeling that's going to get pushed back. something telling me it ain't. I don't care how long it's been in development. I kind of understand how AAA developers are with games that take a while to
But
even
as
get
we
the trailer. So
yeah.
I'm not gonna be surprised if there's delays in that. So yeah, there's that. 7 days being crossplay, I'm pretty excited for that, honestly.
Yeah, we've been on a big 7 days kick here lately.
Other new games, I'm trying to think.
I've heard people have enjoyed Black Ops 6, but I feel like it's everybody's in kind of the honeymoon stage. They're
It's always every year. It's like, oh my god, next best Call of Duty. But wait a month after the release, and I'm sure you're gonna start to see a couple of things. I am not pre-ordering Black Ops 6. I really like the Black Ops games, so I probably will end up buying this one. Because I'm not the new Modern Warfares really aren't it for me, but I did like Cold War. And
well, Zombies is supposed to be back too.
Zombies going back to round-based and pretty similar to kind of Black Ops 3 with it having gobble gums. And then I think it's just a single pack-a-punch, and then you just re-enter to change, like on Black Ops 3, or perk, I guess you could call it, for your weapon.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm interested to see how that's gonna play out. Multiplayer kind of typical new COD multiplayer. I'm sure Warzone's gonna be pushed more than the multiplayer.
Yeah.
No surprise there.
Gotta see them microtransactions. Gotta see them other players wearing them skins.
Just looking through popular upcoming on Steam, I'm really not seeing
Nothing standing out to you.
Yeah, Sex Formula. Ooh.
Oh my god.
A VR game. That's actually crazy. Is this what I need to look forward to? Gosh, 2024. Let's go.
I know a lot of people are into NBA games. 2K25 coming out soon. That's if that's what you're about. Definitely go for that. But we don't.
Warhammer 40,000, Space Marine 2. I've heard those games are pretty fun. So $60. But have you ever seen any gameplay of that game?
I have not.
Kind of wild looking. You're gonna have to get on. You ever watch Russian Badger? Kind of plug him in here, I guess.
Yeah.
Man, I love when he goes over Warhammer. It's pretty funny.
Oh man. All right. Well, I guess that's all we've got for this week. If you are around, come check out. Come holler at us at LS Fest. We'll be there. We'll probably be at some after meets too. But with that being said, guys, we will catch you in the next one.